everybody, I am Lovable Hatsune Miku, and in today's video I want to tell you guys a little bit about myself, meaning like I'm going to talk about my childhood and kind of the type of person I am and the things I like and basically stuff that's happened in my life. So this video will be happy and sad at the same time. I think I'll start off with the happy stuff first and then the sad parts, like the sad stuff, will come later on. So I guess, yeah, just a little bit of a heads up, and I guess in this video you guys will finally know my real name, but not my age. So I guess I'll just start with, where I'm from and where I'm born. So as you guys know, I live in Canada, so I'm Canadian, but I wasn't originally born in Canada. I was actually born in Ukraine, but I was born in the, Hungarian part in Ukraine, so the Hungary side, I guess, so I'm Hungarian. And well, to put it this way, I grew up in an orphanage, as a child, and I actually stayed in that orphanage for the first 2 years of my life, and my parents adopted me, and they took me to Canada with my brother. So yeah, I've been living in Canada ever since, and it's really fun. I really like it. Canada's pretty interesting. Everyone's pretty nice. So as a child growing up, school was very difficult for me. I really didn't like school. I don't think anyone likes school, except for, I don't know, some people I guess like school. But for me, I really didn't like school, and I still don't like school to this day. Growing up as a child, I have a little bit of autism, and it's high institutional autism, meaning people who grow up in an orphanage, they have that kind of stuff. So stuff might trigger a body emotion or something, or a memory. An example for me, growing up in the orphanage, I really don't like babies. Just want to point that out. Babies, I really could care less about. Normal people, I see normal people, they get so excited with babies and stuff, and they talk cute to them and stuff. But with me, I just don't care. I kind of talk to a baby like I am right now. I don't baby talk to a baby. I baby talk to a dog, but not a baby. So that's one example. Rocking is kind of a little bit of a thing I do. Well, actually a lot, but it's really hard to control, but it's interesting, and I don't know. My brother also does it too, and socially isolated. I isolate myself from crowds of people, a bit of a wallflower, but that's another reason, but I'll get onto that later. And I guess touching my nails, I really like to touch my nails, the tips. I don't know why, I just like touching my nails. Probably because they're so sharp, but I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I don't know. And stuff like that. Well, I guess sometimes making weird sound, well, not weird sounds, but I guess maybe weird sounds or noises. Or babbling, I babble to my dog. I don't know why, but she kind of understands it, so I'm like, Mom, it's a secret code I made with my dog, and stuff like that. But yeah, since that I have those things, it's hard to hide it sometimes, but I do a pretty good job of hiding it, because when I tell people I have autism, they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, I have autism, I'm just really good at hiding it. And another thing I have is a little bit of a learning disability, since that in elementary school, well, I guess kindergarten, maybe elementary school, I was put in a learning center, meaning I was with other students, my brother was with me too, meaning it's like a classroom, and they have teachers and stuff, and basically what they do is that they teach you really easy stuff, 1+1 and stuff, and they go really easy on you, and it's you're not really in the same level as the other students, so you're kind of not dumb. It's not for it's hard to explain, but learning centers they just help you in a way. So yeah, I guess that's how I would describe it. And growing up, being in a learning center and everything, people treat you different, because I found that when I was in the learning center, people treated me different. They would go really easy on me, and they thought I was stupid or something. And I'm like, guys, I'm not really stupid, I just have a little bit of trouble. My learning disability affects me still, and I really hate it, honestly. Basically what my learning disability is, I can't learn the same way other people do. I'm a visual learner, so I have to see it, and showing me once or 3 times won't work. Like, I might have to watch someone explain or do something to me, like, probably 25 times maybe. Like, I really have to watch them do it until I actually understand. And sometimes I won't even understand, so I kind of have to tell them, like, could you explain it to me the way I would know, or the way I would think? But, yeah, hey, even with my learning disability, I still graduated high school and I'm in college now, so I must be doing something right. I really don't like my learning disability. It really affects me and I hate it a lot and it stresses me out. Because people could say like the simplest thing to me and I won't understand. Like jokes, for instance, like I won't understand a joke, so they have to explain it to me. And one time I was playing this board game with my friend. It was like Harry Potter Clue, and she explained it to me, and I didn't understand any of the things she said, but I still played it, and I had no idea what I was doing. I just played it to be nice, even though I know nothing about Harry Potter that much, really. But I lost, so no surprise. But it's stuff like that, like, I really hate it. Oh my god, it's really annoying. And I guess, like, growing up, my friends were very interesting, I guess you could say. Like, my best friend, growing up, she was, how do I say it in a very nice way, but not to be, like, super mean? She was kind of controlling, I guess you could say. A little bit, toxic at times. Well, actually very toxic. So, when I was in kindergarten, like, I used to go to another school, but then my mom made me go to a new school because she didn't like the way the teachers were dealing with me because, again, since I grew up in an orphanage, like, I would get really sad when my mom would leave and the teachers wouldn't let her stay with me in the class for a little bit, so they kind of just ripped me apart from her and I would get really sad. So my mom didn't like the way they were teaching, so she took me to another school because she was fed up with the other school. But the school I went to, elementary school, they accepted it for a little bit. You know, they would let her sit in the classroom, and I don't know why. I don't really like it that much when I think about it. I'm like, wow, did I really need my mom to sit with me in class? Now that I think about it, I'm like, God, that's so pathetic. But hey, whatever helps me feel good, I guess. But that's not my fault because it's just the way I am because the way I grew up in an orphanage. So of course I have attachment issues, like who I guess anyone who lives in an orphanage would. So can you really blame me? I'm still a normal person. But yeah, growing up with a kind of controlling friend, I mean, it was interesting at first because of course I went to the new school and I was kind of upset. So a teacher kind of paired us up together and she's like, be friends, and I was like, okay. So we kind of hung out and stuff. But I've noticed that I think it started when I was like, probably when I turned 10. When I was 10 years old, she introduced me to like Sonic the Hedgehog and stuff like that, and I was like, this is really cool. And we would like RP or roleplay, and it was really fun. Like, yeah, and there were some times when I didn't really feel like role-playing with her. Like, we did it every single day, and we would walk this track around the school, and we did it every day. Like, honest to God, people actually thought we were dating because we walked around that track so many times because we were always together. But anyways, there were times when I didn't really feel like role-playing, and she would be like, well, okay, then what do you want to do? And I was kind of like, oh, geez, she doesn't really care about the things that I wanted to do, I guess you could say, because it always had to be her way, and being the person that I was, I kind of just shut my mouth and I smiled and I was like, okay. I would kind of, basically to explain it, I just let her have it her way all the time. Like, I would never say no to something, well, except for birthday parties, because I don't like birthday parties because I don't like crowds of people. Another fun fact about me, I am an introvert, and the nicest way I could say that is that an introvert is someone who loses energy at social gatherings. Like, we really don't like to be, social. Versus like with an extrovert, they get energy from being with people. Introverts, on the other hand, we lose our energy as soon as we're out in public with people. It just drains us really fast, so we really like to just be alone, and we don't like to be with people all the time. I mean, we can be with people just for not like a long time. I think the longest I can last for is like in half an hour to maybe an hour, and then I'm just done. I'm just like, can we go home now and stuff? Also, another thing with my friend was, I found that if a new person would join a group, like, I think it's because she was like an only child. So basically, I had another friend, I won't say her name, but She was really, well, actually before she used to bully me a lot because I have no idea, because my best friend and her would like clash at times, but then they would become friends, and then somehow I would get kind of left out of the group, and it made no sense. But then my best friend would make me choose between me and her, and I'm like, why do I have to do this? So, I don't know, because if I hung out with the other girl, my best friend would get really mad at me, and there would kind of be consequences, like she wouldn't talk to me for like a long time. But if I hung out with my best friend, the other friend would feel left out and sad, and then she started bullying me. So it was like, I guess either way, if I had to choose either one, it would still be consequences. So I'm like, screw it. Can we just all be friends? So I guess it kind of worked out. I don't know. They would clash like all the time. It's like one minute they would be really good friends, and then another day they would just be like, I hate you so much. And I'm just like, why? So yeah, she used to bully me, but then I think, I can't remember how I kind of befriended her. I think I just, you know what, I didn't do anything bad to her. She just randomly decided to bully me. I think I just killed her with kindness. So I was like, okay, just bully me. I don't care. I'm still going to be nice to you. And I think that kind of won her over. So yeah, I would RP with her a lot, like Sonic the Hedgehog and Pokemon, because Pokemon was a really big part of my childhood. Along with this other show I liked, it was Pretty Cure, and it was the first Pretty Cure series I watched, and it's actually the first Pretty Cure series out of all the Pretty Cure series. So it was like number one, like the first ever Pretty Cure series ever made, and I loved that show so much when I was little. Like, I would like pretend to be the characters, and I would act out all the scenes, and I told my friends about it, and they made fun of me because they thought girly magical girl shows were for babies, and it hurt a lot because they would make fun of it, and the type of person I just wanted to play with someone like Pretty Cure style at recess, but no, it either had to be Pokemon or Sonic the Hedgehog, and that sucked because I really love that show. But it's okay, I kind of just, sometimes I'll just play at recess by myself and stuff like that. So I mean, like, there were other things I liked too. Like, I really liked, like, when I was 11, I liked Selena Gomez a lot. Like, I really thought she was cool. But my friend, for some reason, would just get, like, not, like, grumpy, but just, like, not interested. Like, it got to the point where she was like, you're not allowed to talk about her. And I was like, okay. So, basically, to sum it up, my friend, whatever I liked that she didn't like, I wasn't allowed to express it or talk about it. So basically, anything she liked, it was okay, but whatever I liked, it wasn't. So to sum it up, yeah, it kind of always was her way. Like, if I talked about something she didn't like, she would give me this really bad death glare, and I would be like, okay. But yeah, I think it's because, I don't know, I think it's because she's an only child. I have no idea. And I'll get on to her later, I guess. So when I was like 13, my friend, my best friend and my other friend both introduced me to Vocaloid, and if I could go back in time, I would slap my past self for not liking Vocaloid right away, because when I first looked up Hatsune Miku, I actually didn't care about her, but I actually liked Rin more because I thought she was cute. But I really hate myself for not liking Miku in the past, but she grew on me, and I'm a huge, big fan of Vocaloid. Like, if I see any merch of Vocaloid, I will buy it, no matter what the cost is. I don't know why, I just have, like, such a problem with when it comes to something I like in town. It's like, you see something you want, and you know you probably don't need it because it's pricey and stuff, and you have no idea where to put it, but your mind just tells you, buy it. So yeah, that's me every time I see Vocaloid merch or anime merch or whatever the case may be, so yeah. And when I was 14, they introduced me to anime. Well, I guess my best friend did. She made me, well, actually, technically, Pokemon was the first anime I ever watched, but I didn't know Pokemon was anime, so yeah. So my best friend introduced me to an anime called Black Butler. It was either I think at the time I was watching, I think it was Black Butler and Lucky Star at the same time, because, oh my god, Lucky Star is like such a big part of my childhood. Like, oh, I love that anime. It's so cute. Yeah, oh no, wait. My best friend introduced me to Black Butler, and my other friend introduced me to Lucky Star, so I was watching them at the same time, at the same year. There we go. But yeah, I watched it and I was like, this is cool. And then they would recommend me more animes to watch, and before I knew it, I was watching anime like all the time. So I guess when I went to high school, especially when I was like 15, so I guess grade 9, I was a really huge fan of, I don't know why, I was just like such an anime freak. Like, I have no idea. Like, anime was just like the one thing on my mind almost all the time. Like, I would go home and watch anime like every single day. I think the reason why I watched anime so much because it was like a comfort because of the type of friends I had. So I felt like when I was watching anime, it was like a comfort. Also, along with another show I like, My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. I actually watched that show when I was 13, so the same time I became a fan of Vocaloid. Um, Being a fan of MLP is really awesome, but there were consequences to it, unfortunately. My friend really didn't like the show, so she, of course, said I wasn't allowed to talk about MLP. So I guess my other friend was kind of into it, but my best friend was like, no MLP. She thought it was just like so cringy. But being a fan of MLP, I really love the show, honestly. Like, the show was so amazing, and I'm really sad it's ended. Like, I've seen every single episode from season 1 to season 9, and of course, Applejack is my favorite. Just want to point that out. I remember, like, how old was I now? I think I was, no wait, I was 15, okay. I was at Spencer's, it's a store, and they had a Rainbow Dash bag, and it was so freaking cool. I bought the thing, and I was a little bit scared to wear it at school because I knew people would make fun of me, but honestly, I didn't care because when the sun shines on it, it makes like this rainbow reflection, like rainbow effect on the bag. It's really cool. I think I'll show you guys it sometimes, but it's really old, so it's a little bit ripped up and stuff, so I would wear it to high school, and my best friend thought it was like cringy. Like, well, actually, I forgot to say, I also have a Sonic bag from the same store. It's really fluffy, and it's really awesome. So anyways, I would wear the Rainbow Dash bag to high school, and people would give me weird looks because I was 15, and apparently people who are 15, like a girl my age, shouldn't like that kind of stuff, but I was like, screw it. I also have a Rainbow Dash shirt that says, "Come at me, bro." It's really awesome. I'm pretty sure I've shown it to you in one of my videos, but yeah, people would kind of make fun of me, and they would sing the other version of the My Little Pony song, like, "My little pony, skinny and bony," and it was really annoying, but I didn't care. But I don't know, like, I remember one time I was sitting with my best friend on the bus, and she just really didn't like my Rainbow Dash bag. Like, she was like, "Could you, like, turn it the other way? The face is kind of creeping me out." And I was like, what the frick is wrong with you? Versus, like, if I had the Sonic bag on me, she would be like, "Oh my god, it's so soft." But if I had the Rainbow Dash bag, she would be like, "That's just really creepy." I'm like, okay. Again, I wasn't allowed to really express the things I liked with my best friend because she was very controlling. So, yeah, that's basically my whole life. Like, I even remember she took me to an anime club in the high school, and being the person that I am a Pisces. That is my zodiac sign. Pisces are very kind of like servant-like to people, so we kind of just say, okay, it's just the way we are. So, of course, I said, okay. I just went, and basically what they did at the club is that they just watched anime, and they didn't talk to each other. And I was like, dude, why am I even here? Like, I could be at home right now watching anime. Why do I have to watch it with people? And I was really hungry when the first day I went, and the first freaking anime we watched was Hetalia, and of course there was like so much food related stuff in that episode, and I ate all my lunch, so I didn't have any more food, so I was like really hungry, and of course we were watching an anime about food, and I was like, really? Well, actually Hetalia is about like countries portrayed as humans, so yeah, I really didn't like high school, really didn't like it, but on graduation day, so yeah, grade 12, I'm guessing. I can't remember. I hate high school. I remember the last day of high school, like our graduation. Like, you graduate with your friends and then you have a party. I remember that day, I was listening to so much Skrillex. I don't know why. And I was like, screw this. I'm listening to Skrillex. And I think it was Kyoto. That song was amazing. I like Skrillex. Favorite song by them is Bangarang. Just want to point that out. I don't know why. I was just listening to that song on repeat. Like, I just got so pissed when I was at the party. I was like, I don't want to be here. I just want to go home and listen to Skrillex. But to be honest, I actually had a fun time with my friend, not my best friend, because she ditched the party. She went home early because, I don't know. I think it's because I was hanging out with my other friend, so she was like, oh, okay. But to be honest, since I'm an introvert, I don't like being near people. We were actually the last people out of the school, so I must have really had a fun time because, I don't know, we were talking about like anime and stuff, and yeah, that was really fun. I'm actually sorry, I actually got those mixed up. It was my elementary school graduation, not my high school graduation, because during high school I went through something really difficult. So if you guys know about the Kiyomi thing, you guys know what happened. But if you guys who are new to my channel and don't know about the Kiyomi thing, I'll explain it. So when I was 15, back when Google Plus was a thing, I posted something about Silver the Hedgehog. Like, it was just a picture of him. And this girl, I think it was, what was it, Cheerful Miku, I think that was her account name. She commented and we talked and we became friends, and she was Japanese, air quotation marks, and we became like really good friends because it was really, like, I think the reason why I got like so happy with her is because she was like the first person to ever actually take interest in the same things I like. So basically, when you meet someone who actually cares about the things you like and actually likes some of the same things you like versus the best friend I had who just showed no interest in the things I liked, yeah, you would be really happy too. I mean, don't get me wrong, she actually got me into a lot of things that I liked to this day that I still like. So I guess in a way she kind of shaped me into the person I am today. Like, she introduced me to Vocaloid, she introduced me to Sonic the Hedgehog, she introduced me to anime, I don't know, like, she introduced me to roleplay, so I guess in a way she kind of is responsible for the things I like that I really hold dear to my heart. So I guess she did do something right, but still, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do love those things, but there are other things that I like that I really wish I could have talked to her with, like, just chill and just be like, oh my god, I love this and that, like, just have a connection. But I guess it didn't work out that way, so I really feel like I missed out a lot on my childhood, just a little bit. But anyways, so we bonded and stuff, and we always talked about, like, she lived in America, I lived in Canada. We always talked about, like, hanging out and stuff, and on October 4th, I got, like, the worst thing ever. So basically I got a text message saying that she had died, and I was 15 at the time, I was very devastated, and I was just, like, really broken, like, and I had to go to school the next day, so I was, like, just really, like, shut down in a way. It was just so hard to cope with, and I don't know why, but, so when you lose someone very near and dear to you, it's extremely hard to move on and process it, especially because I was 15 when it happened. I was very young. I've never experienced anything like it in my life before, so of course I was just devastated, and it was just really hard to cope with it, especially because I was in high school at the time it happened. So it was extremely hard to go to school because I was, it was really hard because I also got to mention before this whole Kiyomi dead thing that my best friend actually ended our friendship over it because I was happy with someone else, so she ended our friendship. And apparently she said I cried too much because at the other time, Kiyomi went missing, not like missing, but I didn't hear from her for 5 weeks, so I was really upset, so it affected me at school, and it made me cry at school a little bit, and then my best friend ended the friendship. So yeah, anyways, on to the other story. It was really hard to go to school because number one, it was your best friend that's dead, and number two, it was extremely hard to see people with their best friends because, again, my other best friend ended our friendship, so I was all alone. She also told my other friends to stop being my friends, so to sum it up, I lost all of my friends all at once, all because I cried over someone I missed. So yeah, all your childhood friends were, like, gone just like that. It made no sense. Like, again, she controlled people. I didn't understand. It was such, I swear, I really don't like it. But yeah, I was really depressed, really suicidal, and stuff like that, and I guess the way I kind of coped with it was, I find that, in my opinion, the first step to moving on with depression or suicidal thoughts or the passing of a loved one is forgiveness. I think that's the first step. like, as hard as it was, I kind of just forgave the person who killed her, and I just kind of forgave like what had happened, almost like basically like accepting what has happened. I found that as soon as I did that, I started to feel a little bit better, but it was really hard. But yeah, that's kind of how I did with it. And I think I kind of just started shutting people out of my life because that kind of just did me in. Like, to this day, ever since that's happened, I have extreme trust issues with people. Like, I cannot trust people. Like, it really affected me, like, even having friends. Because I remember my best friend had other friends, like, new friends, and they got on Google Plus somehow, and then they started making fun of me and putting me down. Like, saying, oh, I hope the next best friend you have will die too, and stuff like that. So I was getting bullied a lot. And it made no sense because, of course, I'm suicidal and I was, like, going through all this stuff. And then her friends come and attack me online and it was just, like, too much. I swear to God. Sorry if I'm crying. It's just really hard to talk about. So, yeah, that happened and it really wasn't fun. But 4 or 5 years later, I got a text message on Hangouts saying this person wanted to talk about the Kiyomi thing, and she basically told me that this Kiyomi person who I thought I was talking to never did die. She faked it, and she was actually pretending to be one of her friends that was named Kiyomi. She was pretending to be her friend, and I actually have screenshots of it, actually. I still have it on my Hangouts. I was really in shock and upset and confused, but I guess at the same time I was happy because no one died. But still, imagine thinking that your best friend is, like, dead, and you think of that for almost 5 years, and then the person comes out after 4 years saying, oh, hey, this person never really died. Like, why would you do that? Why would you put someone through something like that? Why would you let that happen for 4 years and not tell me? I even said it the day I found out the news. I said, I just want the truth. I wanted to know if it was real or not. Like, why would you do that for 4 years? It's messed me up so much. Like, ever since that thing has happened, I'm not the same person I am anymore. It affects me so much. Like, I can't trust people. Like, I shut off my emotions now almost. Like, I don't cry as much as I used to. Like, I have no sympathy for people anymore almost. Like, it sucks. Like, it took me a long time to actually get back into the things I really liked because I was just so done with everything. But now that I'm starting to go back into the things I like, I kind of just, not like shut people out, but I don't get attached to people anymore because I think I was a little bit naive for thinking it, but I just don't get attached to people. Like, if I see some person say something or do something, even if it's, like, not even mean, I will, like, have red flags up immediately and I'll distance myself a little bit. Like, even with my best friend now, like, I don't know why, but it's just, I can't trust people. It's very rare for me to have a little bit of trust in people. Like, the only person I can really trust is my mom and my dad and my friend Jeffrey, who's been with me ever since that whole Kiyomi thing. So thank you, Jeffrey, for sticking by my side. I'm so happy you stuck by my side. I'm sorry if I'm crying so much. He stuck by my side, so we've been friends for like 5 or 6 years. So I trust him the most when it comes to talking about stuff I can't tell other people. But other people, no, it's like, I don't trust you, but I'll let you hang out with me. I'll be your friend, I just don't trust you at all. It's really hard to explain, but yeah. I also forgot to say that during the whole death of Kiyomi thing, um, like she had a sister, quotation marks of course, and apparently she died in a car crash, and I was 16 when that happened, so that really hurt me. And I had another friend, apparently she died in this earthquake in Italy, and thinking of it now, like, I honestly wonder if that was the same person who faked Kiyomi's death who faked those deaths too, because it's really hard to tell. Because it's like, maybe she faked all 3 deaths. Like, it really makes me think now. Like, all those crying, like, all of that crying and, depression and sorrow and mourning, like, why would you do that? And the weird part is, I actually forgave the person. Like, it shows it in the text message that I actually forgave the person. Like, again, like I said, I think that forgiveness. It's how you move on. Don't know why. Even though I was so mad at the person, I still forgave them after everything they did to me. Because I guess if I didn't forgive, I wouldn't be human, I guess. I'm sorry if I'm just talking about a lot about the sad stuff in my life. Anyways, so yeah, that whole Kiyomi thing has happened, and, I just don't have trust for people. So now, ever since that happened, I find that, I don't care about, to say it in the nicest way, I don't care about humans or people, humans and people, same thing. Very isolated. Again, I'm an introvert, so, to put it in this way, I care more about animals than I do with humans. Like, if the person dies in a movie, I won't care. But if the dog or animal dies in a movie, I will probably cry. I just don't have that sympathy for people anymore, because I was just so hurt by that one person that it just made me lose all hope in people. And I'm not saying that I don't trust my subscribers. Like, I love them so much. I find that I talk to people online, like my closest friends that I've known for a long time, like on MeWe. I trust them more than I trust people in real life. And even though, I don't know, I just trust them more. Even if I know they're probably, I'm sure they're real people too. Like, they actually care about my feelings, and I can trust them a lot, especially my friend Jeffrey. Like, it's just gotten to the point where I'm just like that now. Like, don't get me wrong, I do care about people, but you have to be really important for me to care about you. Like, I'm not gonna just care about you, even if you're a stranger. Like, you probably have to know me for a long time for me to actually care about you. Like, I don't know, it's weird. So yeah, that's kind of the sad stuff that's happened in my life. Oh, I also forgot to say that my grandma also died during that time in 2016. So to top it off, Kiyomi died, her sister died, my friend died in Italy, and then my grandma died. So yeah, that's 4 deaths all at once. Well, yeah, all in the same month. Well, Kiyomi died in 2015, the other died in 2016. So yeah, imagine trying to deal with all of that on your shoulders. Oh, and not to mention that my mother also had a minimum stroke. So yeah, that's freaking like, it was just so much. I honestly have no idea how I'm still alive. You know, I think I was just too shut off to express emotions. Like, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I can tell you that I was just so happy when I finished high school. I found that the way I was coping with this stupid stuff is that I would listen to Vocaloid a lot, like Hatsune Miku. I would watch MLP, and I guess I would watch anime. Yeah, those are kind of like my safe places, to be honest, in my opinion. I think I'm more like emotionally attached to things that aren't real, like fictional things, than I am with humans, because the fictional things, like instance Hatsune Miku, Sonic the Hedgehog, or anime, or even animals like dogs, I don't know, they're just like my safe haven. Like, I just rely on those more than I do with people, because it can't hurt me. So, like, you know that show, like, My Strange Addiction, where the person is, like, addicted to an inanimate object or something? It's weird, But I truly do understand why they're like that, because they were obviously hurt in their life, so they go to things that they know can't hurt them. So I'm like that too. Like, even with that guy who married Hatsune Miku, I saw that video on YouTube. I didn't think it was real at first, but surprisingly, I don't think it's weird, because I can understand. He did say in the video that he got hurt by someone, and yeah, I can honestly understand why he got so attached to Hatsune Miku. Like, I'm guilty too. I'm like really attached to her too. Not gonna lie, if I was that dude, I would probably marry her too if I could, because again, humans just can't take certain things, so we rely on other things that aren't real to make us happy, like otakus, or otakus and stuff, like people who like anime. I think they use it to escape reality too. Like, we just get attached to things that just really make us happy, even if it's like a fictional character or not. Like, it's kind of interesting, but unfortunately I am like that. That's also another reason why I don't want to date people, I don't want to get married, I don't want to have kids. I just want to grow up and make YouTube videos with my pet dog Gabriella, and that's basically what I want for myself. And people are like, well, how are you not going to get married and have kids? I'm like, dude, have you met me? I don't want to get married because, again, if you get married, there are chances you can get cheated on and divorced, and that costs a lot of money when you get divorced. Like, basically, you lose half of your earnings and stuff. I mean, yeah, I guess being married can be fun and stuff, but again, I just can't trust people, and I would never put myself through something like that to get hurt again by someone. So I actually like being single because you save a lot of money. Like, you don't have to spend a ridiculous amount of money on Valentine's Day for someone special, and you have more food, and you don't have to share with people, and you can be yourself, and you don't have to put on an act. And you know what, just the type of person I am. I just want to have a pet dog and make YouTube videos along with my pet fish. I just want to have a single, happy, carefree life. Because it's taken me this long to actually finally start to get my life back on track. Like, seriously, that whole Kiyomi thing has messed me up so much that I just kind of watch stuff now on YouTube, and I kind of, not gonna lie, sometimes I do drink to forget. Just one drink, and it's apple cider or rum and coke. I sometimes drink if I'm feeling really low. It's only one drink though, I don't drink like 5, but it just calms me down. Like, as soon as I get a buzz, I feel good, and I know I shouldn't. I actually rely on music more. Like, again, I watch YouTube videos and stuff. I either make YouTube videos or listen to music, or just sometimes, actually, another thing that really helped me was I wrote stories when I was in 16 with the whole, like, Kiyomi death thing. I actually wrote stories, and the ones I wrote was Shinyu. If you haven't seen any of those chapters, please go watch those videos. It's a story I wrote. It's 35 chapters long, and the other story I wrote was Hope. That is 45 chapters long. Yeah, those are stories I wrote. Actually, Shinyu I wrote when I was 16, and Hope I wrote when I was 17. Really good stories, but I recommend Shinyu more because it's more emotional, and the ending is kind of sad, but yeah. I found that those things really helped me, like, cope. So, I'm really glad I actually wrote that story, because, not gonna lie, it's probably my favorite story of all time, because I just really like the message in it, and I found that it helped me cope with Kiyomi's death, even though, again, the person said it never happened, but half of me wants to believe it, and the other half of me doesn't want to, because honestly, anyone can say that, oh, it never happened. Like, they could just be saying that just to, like, let it go. It's really hard to tell, like, what if someone, like, really did die? Like, I don't know. I don't like talking about it. Like, since that, I never talked about it that much with my mom, because she would get so upset. It's so hard to bottle it all up. It's so hard to bottle all your emotions up. That's why I get so emotional when I talk about this. Because again, I had no one. Like, this is why I like being by myself. Because no one can hurt me if I'm by myself, but enough of that stuff. Again, I never said my childhood was all rainbows and sunshine, but ever since that person told me, I actually have been doing better in life. Haven't really been suicidal. I mean, I do get really down in the dumps. College, though, I feel like it's taking a toll on me. It's kind of making me a little bit depressed and almost suicidal, but Again, I'm just so broken. I'm just too lazy to even try to kill myself now. But yeah, I kind of just rely on anime and YouTube to kind of just help me cope with it, or Vocaloids, like I said. I actually bought the Switch, the Nintendo Switch, because Project Diva Mega Mix is coming out. The Japanese version already came out, but I think the English version comes out in March sometime. And I also ordered an anime figure because I'm a sad person and I have no life. I spent all my money on like anime, mostly Vocaloids and Pokemon cards. It's stuff like that that really just makes me happy versus like with people. Like I don't rely on people to make me happy. I rely on the things I like to make me happy. I know that sounds a little bit mean, but again, I just can't trust humans anymore. I'm done with them. Or animals. I like animals too. My puppy makes me happy. Got a new dog. But yeah, that's kind of my whole life. Well, not all of it. Like, of course, I grew up with Disney and stuff like that. I think the first Disney movie I ever watched was Snow White, actually. And then I think it was Pinocchio, then The Lion King, and then Pixar for Finding Nemo. Definitely want to point out the fact that I watched The Lion King and Finding Nemo like almost every night, and I've actually asked other people at my college and they actually did the same thing too. It was always The Lion King and Finding Nemo. I was like, yay, I'm not the only person who actually watched those movies. I love The Lion King. I mean, it's probably my favorite Disney movie of all time, but I don't know. I find that Disney isn't as, not as magical, but ever since like Tangled came out, like that kind of 3D style almost, like the old comparison, like the hand-drawn, like with the Little Mermaid, the Lion King, Aladdin, and Beauty and the Beast, like the hand-drawn, I like that kind of Disney style more versus with like the Tangled style version, because ever since Tangled came out, all the other Disney and Pixar movies have been like that, like with Moana and Frozen. I'm like, can we just please go back to the 2D hand-drawn animation? I think the last Disney animation that we ever got that was 2D hand-drawn was The Princess and the Frog, and it's sad because I really like that style of animation. It's so beautiful. I mean, I'm not saying that the other people who do that 3D motion or whatever kind of Tangled style version, it's cool, but it's just like, please go back to hand-drawn animation. It's so beautiful. I just love seeing the behind the scenes for the Disney, like how they actually draw the characters. I always used to love going behind the scenes, like with the DVDs. It was just so much fun, and also with the voice acting. I also really wanted to be a voice actor when I was little, but me being a scared child that I was too afraid to take drama classes, and again, my best friend was kind of in drama classes, so I was like, no thank you. But since I have the YouTube channel now, I feel like I can express myself more, so I guess in a way I am doing voice acting, just a little bit. And it's really fun. Also, YouTube, I feel like, is another escape for me. Because, again, I'm a very hurt child, if you can't tell. I don't cry if humans die. Like, if you take me to a funeral, I won't cry. Even if I know the person or not. Like, again, it's just because I'm just so hurt inside that I just can't express my emotions. But I guess I'd rather not cry than would cry, because if I cry, then I'll be sad. But if you don't cry, I guess there's nothing to be sad about, really. But that's just my opinion. Don't hate me. Also, I found that, yeah, listening to Japanese music and K-pop really helps. Like, I've been listening to Japanese music ever since I was 13, and I was 14 when I started listening to K-pop, so yeah. Also, other things that I grew up with was Bonsai Pro. They were a cosplay group. I was 14 when I found out about them, and they were like my childhood. If you guys don't know them, please go check them out. Geez, those videos that they made, I would watch them like non-stop. Like, honestly, I don't know, it's weird. Like, looking back at my childhood, I had a pretty awesome childhood, like Sonic the Hedgehog, Pokemon, Precure. Also watched Bakugan. That was another good show. Just like, I don't know, like, I'm just a nerd, I guess you could say. Mostly Vocaloid, Sonic the Hedgehog, Pokemon, and anime are probably the things I like the most in this world. Well, yeah, I guess MLP too. I love MLP. I also really like Blackpink. They are a Korean group. Probably my favorite Korean group of all time, to be honest, because I don't care about BTS. Basically, to describe myself, I'm probably that friend you wish you had growing up, but you never did have growing up. That's how I would describe myself. Also, my real name is actually Taylor, and not Lovable Hatsune Miku, so there you guys go. You guys finally know my real name. Not gonna tell you how old I am, but I was born on February 20th. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm so sorry if this video was really sad, but that's kind of my childhood and my life story right now at the time. Still in college, but my goal is to just become a YouTuber and have that as a full-time job, and yeah, get my dog and be happy and make videos for you guys. Thank you so much for supporting me and being awesome, and for the birthday wishes you guys all sent me. That's really cool. So yeah, until then, I will see you again. Goodbye.